Hi guys, GTR here with another old school replay cast. This game is from August of 2002 and it is a ladder game between iloveoov spawning as the brown Protoss here at the 8 o'clock position and players BoxeR spawning as the teal Terran at the 2 o'clock position. Now you may be wondering, why am I doing this particular game? Well, this is because iloveoov is playing Protoss. As some of you may know, iloveoov, one of the greatest players to ever play StarCraft 1. Multiple time OSL champion, multiple time MSL champion. And a little known fact about iloveoov was before he became a pro gamer and started winning all of the leagues and stuff, he was actually one of the most highly touted amateur players in Korea. And it was actually Slayer's BoxeR who went out of the way and recruited him for his pro game team, which was new at the time of its creation. What made iloveoov such a special player was that he was able to get to the top 10 of the ladder, which was the Gamei ladder at the time, with all three races. And it wasn't until he turned pro in early 2003 where he would commit to playing the Terran race, because it was believed by not only him but also BoxeR that Terran would be the race that would provide him with the biggest chances to succeed at the professional level. These days, it's pretty much unheard of players being able to perform at a pro level with all three races. Notably, we had Flash make top 4 of an ASL with random. And also we've seen Light actually dabble with Protoss a couple of years ago, making it to, I believe, was a KSL with his Protoss off race. Anyway, we are here on Lost Temple, as is the norm at the time of this game being played. So we'll be seeing a lot of the nuances that we relate to with this time period. Notably the wall in at the ramp from the Terran against Protoss to stop any Zealot shenanigans. And we see here iloveoov getting the fast cybernetics cord. Nothing's changed about that. Looks like he's going to go for the quick robotics first. So this is something that was very common around this time, where you get the robotics before you get your range or your first Dragoon, so you can try and rush the Observer ASAP. Obviously you are prone to any sort of rushes, but iloveoov does have the probe in the base, sees that there aren't that many Marines being built, also sees that it's only one factory, so he's not concerned about a 2-factory push. So he knows that he can be a bit greedy and delay his first Dragoon, because he's also getting the range before his first Dragoon here. Something that's considered pretty greedy these days. See BoxeR actually cancel something. That might have been a okay, might have been screw up, but there we go. Starport on the way, so we're going to be seeing some drop play from him. Still sticking with the 2 Marines, not building any more from the barracks. Also getting the first tank. No upgrades yet from the machine shop. We'll keep an eye on that to see what he decides to do. Meanwhile, main base of iloveoov, observatory on the way as expected. And should be seeing him add a second gateway. There we go. As his first Dragoon's out. And it looks like OOV is going to go for probably a Nexus after this. We'll have to wait and see. He's got the probe position there, chasing away the SCV. And at BoxeR's main base, we've got more Marines being built here. Add-on being put on the starport, so we should be seeing the dropships as expected of this build. No second factory from BoxeR just yet. Also no research coming from the machine shop. Looks like he wants to save the gas on something. Maybe just trying to evaluate what exactly OOV is doing at the moment with his build before committing to siege. Okay, now he gets the siege, and the dropship as well is on the way, so definitely going to be some sort of drop shenanigans up here on the cliffs of Lost Temple. Expansion now on the way here for OOV. Second gateway is done. Range is also done for him as well, as he's starting to pump out those observers. Note that he only got 2 observers. He's going to get 1 to scout the base of BoxeR, where he's building an engineering bay for the anti-air. Don't see any command center from him yet, as the dropship does complete, gets loaded up. And OOV, wisely knowing that this dropship play is a possibility, immediately gets the shuttle right after his second observer. The dropship's flying its way to the cliff of OOV's expansion, as a missile turret's being built, just in case there's any Dark Templar play from OOV, as BoxeR is now adding his command center. Looking to try and get that up while getting some harassment done up here. Could be seeing the siege from BoxeR to try and stop this Nexus. Where's that shuttle? Shuttle, okay, shuttle's at the main base. They should be flying to this cliff right now, which he is going to be doing. As BoxeR still continuing to pump out tanks from his factory. No second factory added just yet from him though. If he's getting anything like an armory, no he's not. Continuing to pump out the SCVs. As OOV's Nexus is up. Barely any damage done from that drop of BoxeR. Here we've got 3 gateways now for OOV. Trying to get the Citadel as well. So it looks like it's going to go for a heavy 2-base play with faster Templars, which is common at the time. We've got a drop here from BoxeR though. Right behind the mineral line, gets a huge chunk of damage onto the probes, so that's around 9 probes killed so far. So even if these tanks do go down, do get the value out of that drop, killing a whole bunch of probes there. And OOV immediately starts to add probes from both of his Nexus. See the whole huge queue up there. BoxeR now floating down his command center that he built. Down to his expansion. A couple of more tanks here from BoxeR being put into the dropship. Probably going to be seeing some sort of drop down here. Although OOV does have a couple of Dragoons to deal with any drop shenanigans. As the second factory has completed here for BoxeR, third one on the way. No armory just yet from him though, so no upgrades just yet. Got another drop coming here from BoxeR, so it looks like it's going to be a very harassment-based game plan here from BoxeR, trying to do some multi-pronged harass, but iloveoov's on top of this. He's got the Observer as well as the 2 Dragoons for defense. And looks like the drop's trying to come in here. Does actually get behind the mineral line. This one also gets dropped in as well. But this does get shut down pretty quickly, but not before a handful of probes go down. And BoxeR's trying to get some damage done here on these probes too. But OOV does have the advantage of the 2 Nexuses just pumping out probes continuously, I should say. And BoxeR's just very happy to sit on these 3 factories pumping nothing but tanks. I mean, Vulture Speed's only just started, or Vulture Speed just got cancelled. I believe he just cancelled it to try and get that 4th factory up. And no upgrades whatsoever from BoxeR. No mines, no speed. We'll look at the main base. Comsat is on the way. No armory still yet here from BoxeR. And looks like iloveoov actually got quick speed for his Zealots. No Templar Archives, and it might be possible that he's looking to try and get some damage done here. He's got the shuttle field here with some Zealots, looking to get onto this tank here up in the high ground of BoxeR's main base. Does land on there successfully despite the turret being there. But these couple of siege tanks are getting siege right now. They're actually trying to deal with the zealots in the main base of BoxeR, while these dragoons at the bottom of the ramp continue to push forward here for iloveoov. This is not looking good here for players BoxeR, as damage from these zealots. The rally as well from the main base. Got 4 gateways here from iloveoov, just continuing to rally across the map. And all the SCVs from the expansion of players BoxeR have been forced to be moved up the ramp. But with the way that this ramp works, it'll be very difficult for OOV to push forward. But it looks like he's trying to get the zealots in. Flash damage from the tank, I believe. Gets... Actually, there's no tank here. Only just vultures, actually. And BoxeR defends barely. Well, takes a lot of losses there. iloveoov does retreat, looking to regroup his army together. He's also taken his mineral only as well, so that's going to be another source of income, as well as an additional source of producing probes. So he's going to be able to get that worker count up pretty quickly. And you can see here this main base, this expansion is well saturated once again, despite losing a lot of probes earlier on from BoxeR's tank harass. And even though BoxeR has 5 factories, he doesn't have the necessary income to have a continuous production out of them, because his expansion is barely saturated. The main base is going to mine out relatively soon. Also, you can tell this is a pretty old game by the fact that Terranplay isn't really getting the fast +1 weapons upgrade, which is essential in this matchup these days. As we do see BoxeR is moving out here with this bunch of vultures, trying to get some harassment done, but there is a cannon here at the mineral only to stop any run-bys that come to the north side of that base. As the vultures actually just come around the south side, iloveoov is somewhat out of position here as he's trying to reinforce the cliff. But well-placed observer here from OOV. Plus these dragoons should be enough to stop this harass. As BoxeR continues to rally vultures over, but this group of dragoons should be enough to halt the harass. You can see trying to move up, but gets in here to the back. No, should lay some mines to delay OOV's army as much as possible. Okay, yep, fresh rally here from OOV should be enough to stop this. As BoxeR is now trying to restart tank production once again. But OOV has a very healthy probe count, very healthy army count as a couple of goons, or 1 goon does go down. It's got a nice number of gateways. It's got the double upgrades going as well. It's got the Templar Archives, so we should be seeing some storm from him. Especially given the fact it still has that initial shuttle, so he should be able to load that up with some High Templar. As BoxeR is slowly trying to get his way back into the game. Builds a dropship from the starport. Got a drop here, but immediately gets shut down by a group of 4 zealots from OOV. And you can see him immediately just remaxing the Nexus Q onto probes. Got the gateway explosion as well. And looks like OOV's thinking about expanding here at the 6th o'clock. And OOV with the macro advantage just has groups of dragoons just roaming around the map to stop any sort of dropship shenanigans from BoxeR. And this might be the final battle of the game, as it looks like OOV is trying to push through here. It's got the shuttle, dropping the zealots onto the high ground once again. BoxeR is trying to build another command center to float to that mineral only, but it's not going to work out too well for him. And even though this choke point is pretty hard for a Protoss to break through, iloveoov seems like he has too many units for BoxeR to deal with. But no zealots mean that there's not much of a front line for him to soak up the majority of this tank damage. Ooh, that was close there. And he loses the High Templar. It would surprise me actually if iloveoov just drops up on this high ground. Does a storm drop there. Looks like he's going to send down this Dragoon army to clean up the Vulture that scouted this expansion here from iloveoov. Third Forge actually from iloveoov as well, so looks like it's the triple upgrade play from him. As BoxeR is trying to slowly inch his way out of his base. In the supply count of iloveoov, 144, BoxeR at 88. The flood of units do come in. Nice storm here from the high ground from iloveoov. Does a huge chunk of damage to the siege tanks of BoxeR. He's got a couple here at the main base high ground, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Another storm from iloveoov from this High Templar. And this might be too much for BoxeR to deal with. Getting a Wraith as well, not really sure why, just to get some sort of extra source of damage, and that's it. BoxeR leaves the game. And a very convincing win there from iloveoov. And it just shows that playing against BoxeR, of all players, who is fresh off a OSL finals appearance against Reach, able to defeat who would become his eventual mentor with his off race, displaying his skills as a Protoss player. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this replay cast. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.